There is no shelter other than Lord. He alone is the supreme shelter. He is Sharanya and he is Ashray. Sorry, he is Ashray and we are Ashrit. So we have to offer him prayers by surrendering our gross and subtle bodies in submission. Now, what are the reasons and result of offering prayers that we will see from some of the quotes of Srila Prabhupada. Quote number 1. Every living entity, including Lord Brahma, the super intelligent person, is not independent to perform any activity on devotional or spiritual path without taking permission of Lord, without the sanction of Lord. So everyone has to take permission of Lord. Now, quote number 2. As per Vedic custom, uh, as per Vedic custom, everyone has to offer glorious prayers to Lord so that Lord, as Rishikesh, master of senses, can be pleased and direct us within. And quote number 3. um, our senses are belongs to Lord, and they have to be employed in the service of the Lord, so that we are not bound by the four common defects, that is cheating propensity, making mistake, um, and so on. Now about Lord Brahma's prayers. So our So from this we can understand what are the what we can gain from this prayer for offering this from offering these prayers. One more aspect of offering prayer to Lord Krishna is he is Tuti Priya. He is sentient like us. He enjoys and he loves and enjoys to hear his own glories sung by his devotees. In Padma Purana, Lord says to Narad Muni, नाम वसामि वैकुंठे योगिनां हृदेषु वा यत्र गायति मद्भक्ता तत्र तिष्ठामि नारदा. That doesn't mean Lord is not present in Vaikuntha or he is not present in the heart of yogis, but he is perceived only in the association of Lord, who are association of his devotees who are engaged in singing his glories, kirtan. Now about Lord Brahma's prayers. After performing long tapasya, 1000 celestial years, Lord Brahma witnessed Supreme Lord's uncomparable, beautiful, opulent, and all auspicious personal transcendental form. And here he indirectly suggests to perform tapasya, tapa. But in this age of Kali Yuga, tapasya is not at all advisable. Srimad Bhagavatam itself recommends kirtana. कृते ध्यायते विष्णु त्रेतायाम यजते मखे द्वापारम परिचर्यायाम फलो तत् हरि kirtanat. So and Lord Krishna himself, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also introduced and recommends Sankirtan Yajna, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, and Kirtanya Sadhari. Now, one of our Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, he also recommends in his one of the bhajan, Golokara Premadhana Harinama Sankirtana. So, Kirtan is most important in this age instead of tapasya, tapa. Brahmaji further glorifies Lord, his holy names, and his devotees. If unconsciously one utters Lord's name, holy name, at the time of death, he will attain his Paramdham. That is the glories of Lord's holy name. So now further Brahmaji condemn the atheistic class of people who are whose consciousness is polluted, who has Vayasam Chetna, and they are destined as pilgrims to hell. Further Brahmaji, at the same time, Brahmaji also compassionate towards the fallen souls, and he is also at the same time he also concerned about their welfare. The Brahmaji, because the fallen souls, their conditioned souls are entangled in aham conception, and they are engage in hearing all other material topics without other than Krishna Katha. As we always see that all the great souls like Vidura, Parishit Maharaj, Lord Brahma, Shukadev Goswami, Prahlad Maharaj, and even Prabhupada. All are compassionate towards for our conditioned souls and also concerned about their welfare of the common people. The Vidura's first question, Vidura's very first question to Maitreya Muni was, what is the ultimate solution for the people to be eternally happy and satisfied for those who are working very hard to become happy, but they are never successful in their attempt. Same way Parishit Maharaj, who was about destined to die after 7 days. He also put the same question before Shukadev Goswami, that what is the good for all people in all condition of life. And we all know about Srila Prabhupada. Because of his mercy, because of his compassion, and because of his hard labor, we are here now presenting the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. So these all great souls are very much concerned about the welfare of the people in general. Now, most important aspect of Lord Brahma's prayer is that he emphasizes on hearing, bona fide hearing. The two words in his prayers are very profound. Shrutivata and Shutekshita Patham. Shrutivata means to smell through ears, and Shutekshita Patham means to see through ears. Verse number 3.9.5 and 3.9511. These two verses glorifies the mutual explains the mutual transcendental relationship between Lord and his devotees. The verse number 5. एतु त्वदीय चरणाम्बुजकोश गन्ध जिगरन्ति कर्णविवरे श्रुतिवातनीतं भक्त्या गृहीत चरणापरया च तेषां नापैषिनाथ हृदयाम्बुरुहात् स्वपुंसाम्. The devotees of Lord smell the aroma of the lotus feet of Lord carried by the sound vibration of Veda, and that enter into the heart of devotee, and their heart gets purified, and Lord eternally sits there in their lotus-like heart. Now again in 3.9.11. Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita rusaroja अस्य क्षुतेक्षितपथननुनाथ पुंसां यद्यत्यातुरुगाय विभावयन्ति तत्तत्वपु प्रणयसे सदनुग्रहाय. Here Lord Shutekshitapatha means Shastric vision, Shastra Chakshu. Lord Brahma recommends to hear from the spiritual master. Authentic sources to hear from spiritual master who is in parampara and who has acquired the knowledge from authentic sources like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So from here to hear from him, because he is the Jnaninam Tattvadarshinam and also he is Tattvavid. In Bhagavad Gita also Lord Krishna instructed Arjuna, actually instructed us to through Arjuna to approach spiritual master. And finally, Lord Rama offers the final praise, that is wake up call. Because Brahma wanted to wake up Lord who was in Yoga Nidra. And he wanted to offer Mangalarti to Lord. And we see that devotees day starts with Mangalarti. So Brahmaji wanted to offer Mangalarti to Lord. Then he offered just final prayers. So Savadabra Karuna Bhagavan Vivruddha Prema Smitena Nenamburuha Vishrumbhan Uttaya Vishwavijayayo Chano Vishadam Madhya Girapanetat Purusha Puranaha. After completing this prayer, Lord, and then the questions come, why Brahma offered such a long, beautiful, prolonged and wonderful prayers set of 25 verses? Because he has to start his seva of Visarga, and at that time he has to associate with Lord's diverse Shakti, Maya Shakti, and also he has to associate with the of his creation, vicious and creatures. So he has to offer prayers for enlightenment, for empowerment, and most importantly for spiritual protection. Because because we are not independent, as we have already heard. We are not independent to do any activity without Lord's permission, without his sanction. So we always have to take permission of Lord by offering glorious prayers unto him. Now, after hearing the Brahma's prayer, one more point I forgot. The prayer on 9.9 or 3.9.11, the prayer says that when Lord, one hears from spiritual master, the Lord become happy and he appeared in the, he manifests himself in a particular form as desired by his Lord. So this is again the mutual transcendental reciprocal relationship between Lord and his devotees. The final prayer, after offering final prayer, Lord was awaited for further instructions from Lord. Lord Brahma was awaited for further instructions from Lord in his transcendental sweet voice. And then Brahma was, and here one point is to know, is not recommended. Unless one hears from Lord, unless one hears sufficiently about Lord and his devotees, one cannot understand him. There is no chance to understand him, because after Shravanam only Kirtanam and Smaranam can happen. The example is Rukmini Devi and Devotee. Rukmini Devi heard from Narad Muni about Lord's glories and he accepted him as husband. Same way, Devotee also heard from Narad Muni about Kardama, and she also accepted Kardama Muni as her husband. So hearing Shravanam is the most important aspect in Bhakti. It is the first stage of Bhakti. In case of then Lord Brahma, the Lord Supreme Lord was pleased with Brahmaji's prayers, and he as a Sarvakam Vareshwar offered the giver of benediction, offered the promise that whoever offered prayers like Brahma regularly in firm with me. It is important to have firm faith in Lord. Then I will fulfill all his desire on spiritual path. This is the Falashruti of this episode. Now lessons. In case of Brahma, there was lesson number 1. In case of Brahma, there was direct reciprocation between Lord and Supreme Lord and Brahmaji. But in our case, Lord will direct us in within. He instructs us within. So we have to respond his sound, transcendental sound. We have to hear his voice. Prabhupada spoke here. The Lord is always speaking to us, but only devotees can hear him. Lesson number 2, Lord is Asam Urdhva. There are only two ways to understand him as he is. One by the causeless mercy of Lord, and second by the via transparent media of spiritual master, who is, it is said that Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakto or Bhaktyamam Abhijanati. So through spiritual master, we can understand at some extent about Lord's glories. Now, lesson number 3 is one is bound. One should be as duty seva bound or duty conscious. So, kartavya daksha and kartavya parayan, as Lord Brahma was. He was very anxious to start his seva. So one has to be very duty bound. Now, lesson number 4. Everyone, one should be most important point in Brahmaji's prayers is that one should be very fearful of Lord's Maya Shakti, consisting three modes of modes of guna. Because Prabhupada quotes, everyone has to everyone is bound by the rope of Guna and everyone has to associate with Lord's Maya Shakti. Unless one is sufficiently protected by Lord, he has to constantly associate with Lord through offering his glorify him through the prayers. Now, in this regard, I know one small incident past time of Prabhupada. Prabhupada, after giving a Bhagavatam class, Prabhupada always used to stand before his Lordship Radha Raspberry, and always the tears used to flow from his eyes. One of his disciples inquired about it, and Prabhupada said, "I'm always praying Lord to protect me from Maya because I'm very fearful of Maya." So actually, Prabhupada wanted to set an example for his disciple as well as for us. Now, verse number, lesson number 4, lesson number 5, verse number 3.9.24. This verse wants us to be alert on our spiritual path. As per Vedic scripture, the spiritual path is compared with the age of sharpened razor. Little negligence or little inattentiveness may cause havoc and bloodshed. Same way, we are also experienced in our kitchen. We have to handle our knife very carefully. Otherwise, all know what are the effects. So in our bhakti, in our sadhana, we have to all very attentive and conscious, cautious and alert and sincere. Otherwise, our some bhakti lata will get stuck in between instead of growing upward and entering into the spiritual world because of insufficient watering and improper nurturing. Now, what does it mean insufficient watering? Means less means not attentive without chanting is not attentive and not following the five main angas of bhakti that Srila Rupa Goswami has quoted in NOD. One is chanting the holy names, deity worship. Second is chanting the holy name. Third is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly in association of devotees. Fourth is Vaishnav Seva. And fifth is visiting holy dhams regularly. So these five angas has to be practiced sincerely. This is the otherwise our bhakti lata will not grow. Insufficient uh, improper nurturing. This means the tendency is full with anarthas and tendency of criticizing other or finding fault in others. That is also aparat. This is offensive vritti. So we have to avoid all these offensive with offenses. We have to keep ourselves to from these offenses. These are the to keep our bhakti lata safe. Now about success. Lesson number 6, success. Now, success is depends on Lord's mercy. When we are, our success is always depends on Lord's mercy. And Lord showers his mercy only when he is satisfied with our endeavor. So our endeavor is, then we will get Lord's mercy and then success will take place. These three things are very correlated with each other. Now, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord said, how Lord will shower his mercy. In Bhagavad Gita 10.10, Lord says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam tam eno bhajata pritipurvam tam eno mamupayanti upayanti. The Lord showers his mercy, as we already say. Lord showers his mercy only when he is pleased with our endeavor. So, Lord assures that he will give buddhyo, that is highest intelligence, to those who are constantly engaged in his devotional service. Prabhupada's comments are there. Buddhyo is itself a process to get out of the entanglement of material attachment. And so, Lord as Paramatma guides us within, instructs us within. to get how to progress in our devotional service.
Mataji, you can
Yes.
summarize time okay already.
Only the ultimate goal of human life is to invoke Lord's satisfaction with our action. Now, what action Lord expects from him, that is Ananya Bhakti. That is Anyabhishla Kishunyam Nana Karmadi Anavrutam. That is without any material motive and transcendental to Jnana and Karma. That is one-pointed bhakti. Now, lesson number 8, most important to realize our own swarup, our own dharma. That is Jive Swarupe Krishna Nitya Das. We are eternal servant. Our eternal duty is to serve him eternally. So, to engage ourselves in investing our time, energy, ability, and intelligence to please Lord. Now on my personal platform, whatever duty I have to perform, I have to do with enthusiasm and fullness in my capacity. And at the same time, I have to aware. I have to aware that I could have performed this perfectly because of Lord's mercy. Here empower me. Otherwise, He is the doer. I am not a doer. And so always be merciful. Always be grateful and thankful to Lord. In this regard, I don't know one incident in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is quoted first canto. When Arjuna was returning back from Dwarka to Hastinapur along with Lord's queens, on the way he was attacked by some coward boys and they kidnapped Lord's wives. And at that time, Arjuna was stuck with wonder. How is that I'm a great Yodha, great Dhanurdhar, and these three insignificant coward boys defeated me and kidnapped Lord's wives. But after some time, he also realized that whatever success, whatever strength, whatever power I was having, that is all because of Krishna's mercy. He had empowered me. He has empowered me to. He has made me an instrument in his mission to help him. Nimitta matra bhava sabyasachi. So I am not a doer. He is the ultimate doer. And we always experience man proposes and God disposes. Even a blade of grass cannot move without Lord's sanction, without Lord's desire. In this regard, there is Prabhupada's quotes.
Hare
Prabhupada
Krishna,
says,
Mataji. Hare
oh,
Krishna, Mataji. Time up, Mataji.
okay.
Both time ho gaya. We have a lot of presentations also. Thank you. Thank you
Hare
very
Krishna.
much for a nice presentation. Any devotees want to ask any questions? Hare Krishna. Anyone devotees want to ask any questions?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, okay. So no problem. Thank you very much, Mataji, for a nice presentation. You always say that very difficult for me. I'm fearful of it, but you spoke very nicely today. Thank you very
I feel
much.
very bad.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Next, we'll go ahead with Bhakti Gopi Mataji. Her presentation, she will be talking on lessons from the character of Devahuti from chapter 22 to 33. You unmute yourself. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam. Today my topic is the learning from the glorious character of Devahuti. As we know, Devahuti is a very glorious personality. As we study in the Bhagavatam third canto, that how she served his husband and how she's what is her characteristics. So I'm going to talk about that only today. तो जैसे हमें पता है जो देवहूति है वो स्वयंभू मणि की पुत्री थी जो एक सम्राट थे और उसके भाई जो प्रियव्रत महाराज और उत्तानपाद थे जो प्रजापतियों में से एक है। तो ये जो कैरेक्टर है देवहूति का यानी वो एक बहुत ही ऑपुलेंट फैमिली से बिलोंग करती थी और वो सुंदर भी बहुत थी। भागवत में वर्णन आता है कि उसकी जो कंपैरिजन है वो लक्ष्मी देवी के साथ की जाती है और एक प्रसंग आता है जिसमें जब देवहूति खेल रही थी अपने टेरेस पे, हाँ, तो जो एक गंधर्व था विश्ववासु करके उनकी जो ब्यूटी है उसको देखकर इतना आकर्षित हुआ कि अपने वो प्लेन में से गिर गया। तो ऐसी सुंदर शालीन और सुशील पत्नी थी और वो उसके साथ साथ वो बहुत सुसंस्कृत संस्कारी और शालीन भी थी। जैसे हम देखते हैं कि भागवत में वर्णन है कि वो उसने अष्ट सिद्धियों में अष्टांग योग में उसने महारथता प्राप्त करी थी और सिद्ध पद प्राप्त किया था। और एक प्रसंग आता है जब उन्होंने नारद मुनि के मुखारविंद से, जो कि अथॉरिटी है, कदम मुनि के बारे में सुना कि उनके उनके स्पिरिचुअल एडवांसमेंट, उनके चरित्र, उसके बारे में, तो बहुत आकर्षित हुई है। तो यहाँ पे प्रभुपाद जी पर्पट में बताते हैं कि अगर हमें कोई पति ढूंढना है तो हमें उनकी मटेरियल एक्वायरमेंट्स के हिसाब से नहीं ढूंढना चाहिए, बट वी शुड सी हर कैरेक्टर, हिज एडवांसमेंट, हिज डिवोटी और नॉट, और ये सब देख के फिर हमने पति का चुनाव करना चाहिए। एंड वन मोर थिंग हियर वी कैन सी कि देवहूति ने जब नारद मुनि से सुना कि इतने सुंदर है, तो उनकी इच्छा हुई कि उनका विवाह कदम मुनि से हो। तो डायरेक्ट उन्होंने प्रपोजल नहीं पाया, उन्होंने क्या किया, अपने पिता जो है स्वयंभू मनु, उनसे अपनी इच्छा व्यक्त की कि उनको कैसा पति चाहिए, कैरेक्टर में, एज में और क्वालिटीज। शी एक्सप्रेस हर डिजायर फॉर अ सुटेबल हस्बैंड फॉर करस्पॉन्डिंग हर कैरेक्टर, एज एंड क्वालिटीज। तो अकॉर्डिंगली जो स्वयंभू मनु है, वह स्वयं, प्रोबब्ली सेकंड पॉइंट, सेकंड, एजुकेटेड इन कल्चर। तो accordingly, Swayambhu Manu approached Kadam Muni and tell all the qualities and everything about her daughter to Kadam Muni. और जब उन्होंने सब कदम मुनि को भी पता ज्ञात था, तो यहाँ पे हमें एक पॉइंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, हम देखते हैं कि उन्होंने अपने मन से अपना पति का चुनाव नहीं किया था। शी एक्सप्रेस हर डिजायर, शी टुक अपने पिता और भाइयों को कॉन्फिडेंस में लेने के बाद उन्होंने अपनी डिजायर एक्सप्रेस की, एंड शी टुक कंसर्न ऑफ देम एंड देन शी एक्सेप्ट कदम मुनि एज हर हस्बैंड। प्रोबब्ली थर्ड स्लाइड। तो व्हेन शी वाज मैरिड टू कदम मुनि, तो वी कैन सी सो मेनी क्वालिटीज देयर इन 23rd चैप्टर। वहां पे बहुत सारी बताया कि शी इज अ साध्वी। फर्स्ट point is there that she is compared to a sadhvi. Sadhvi means Bhavani. She is compared to a Bhavani, who is the wife of Lord Shiva, who is a Bhava. See, Bhavani is also a daughter of King Himalaya, but she choose husband as a Shiva, who is staying in Smashana. But she served him with that chastity and according उनके पति के हिसाब से उसको खुद को मोल्ड करके उन्होंने अपने आप को पति को सर्व किया। वैसे ही देवहूति जो है स्वयंभू मनु के सम्राट की पुत्री है, हाँ, और बहुत ऑपुलेंट एटमॉस्फेयर में पली बड़ी है। बट व्हेन शी केम टू कदम मुनि's cottage, she leave her all material designation, everything, and with great she serve her husband with great love and intimacy and with full respect. So and sweet words. तो see, this is, she is not faithful. उन्होंने कभी ऐसे नहीं बोला कि अब मैं बहुत एटमोस्फेयर में बहुत अच्छे पढ़ी हूँ तो आई कैनॉट डू दिस थिंग्स। शी लीव हर और मटेरियल डेजिग्नेशन, जो भी कंफर्ट था वो सब छोड़ के शी सर्व अपने पति के जैसे अकॉर्डिंगली उनको उनके पति की इच्छा के अनुसार खुद को ढाला, एंड शी सर्व हिम लाइक दैट। शी डिड ऑल हर हाउस होल्ड ड्यूटी फॉर कदम मुनि एंड शी हेल्प इन हिज यज्ञ, एंड व्हेन ही इज डूइंग austerity she did so many things for him. So while performing his ritual duties and all, उन्होंने अपने शरीर की और अपने मन की भी परवाह नहीं की। जो शरीर है वो सबको बहुत प्रिय होता है, बट उन्होंने उनकी भी परवाह नहीं की। और जब ऐसा हुआ तो क्या हुआ कि व्हेन शी इस जैसे उन्होंने परवाह भी नहीं की और वो बहुत वीक हो गई थी, हाँ। तो ये सब क्वालिटीज जब देखी है उन्होंने कभी भी रिस्पेक्ट के, शी इज फ्रॉम वेरी हाई फैमिली, तो कभी उन्होंने अपना पेरेंटल पोजीशन का शौक नहीं किया। हरि बोल, हरे कृष्णा। हाँ, अपने पेरेंटल पोजीशंस का कभी शौक नहीं किया। शी लिव एवरीथिंग दिस पेरेंटल पोजीशंस का गर्व नहीं किया है और कभी अभिमान भी नहीं किया। उन्होंने ईर्ष्या, दया सब त्याग दिया। और एक क्वालिटीज होती कि पति जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पोजीशन ऑफ अ मैन इज लाइक दैट, शी ऑलवेज फील सुपीरियर टू हिज वाइफ। तो शी ऑल्सो एक्सेप्ट दैट ऑल्सो, एंड एज शी इज as much as advanced as his husband, but she never show off कि I am so advanced like you and this say. So sometimes he also shout at him. She accept that and she tolerate all these things. So Prabhupada writing in the purport that it is a constitutional position of a husband to be superior to be husband to his wife. So she as a wife we should respect that mentality and we should respect that. तो ये जब हम ऐसे करते हैं तो हमारा जो वैवाहिक जीवन है उसमें गलत फहमियां नहीं आती है एंड वी कैन run our married life very smoothly. And she is very faithful, dedicated to her husband. We can see from all these things. And in reward, what she get when she did selfless service, तो कदम मुनि बहुत प्लीज हुए उनसे, उनकी ये सब क्वालिटीज देख के. तो उन्होंने उनकी इच्छा, जो मटेरियल इच्छा थी पुत्र प्राप्ति की और पत्नी की, उन्होंने उनको 9 पुत्रियां प्रदान की. हाँ, और बहुत, और जब फिर कदम मुनि कहा कि मैंने आपको 9 पुत्रियां प्रदान की, नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू टेकिंग वानप्रस्थ, तो भी वो गुस्से नहीं हुई कि हाउ यू कैन लीव मी दिस व्हाट दैट. तो शी टोल्ड दैट आई एम सरेंडर सोल टू यू, इट इज योर ड्यूटी टू गिव मी फियरलेसनेस. तो पर्पट में प्रभुपाद जी बताते हैं कि जो शी एक्सेप्ट हिज हस्बैंड एज ए स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर. हियर यू कैन सी दिस फ्रॉम दिस. So it is a duty of a husband to a dedicated wife to award her fearlessness. तो एंड पर्पट में प्रभुपाद जी बताते हैं कि स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर्स कैन नॉट टेक सर्विस ऑफ अ डिसाइपल लाइक दैट. ही शुड इंस्ट्रक्ट हिम इन रिवॉर्ड इन रिटर्न. तो वही चीज है यहाँ पे, देवहूति ने वही मांगा. और जब कदम मुनि ने कहा मैं जा रहा हूँ, तो गुस्से से वो बोली भी नहीं है. वो बहुत शांत मृदु आवाज में, एक उनके मन में बहुत ताप और वो था, बट उन्होंने कभी एक्सप्रेस नहीं किया. और उन्होंने मंद मुस्कान के साथ और चौक वॉइस के साथ कहा गिव मी दिस फियरलेसनेस. तो जब हम किसी को डेडिकेटेड होते हैं तो वी गेट ऑटोमेटिकली, इट इज रिटन दैट कि अगर हम कोई हमारा स्पिरिचुअल पति होता है, एडवांस पति की सेवा करते हैं, तो जो वो तब करता है या जो भी एडवांसमेंट करता है विदाउट एनी एफर्ट, we get 50% of that. Wife get 50% of that without any effort. So here we can see as Devuti also serve his husband with great love and all. So she asked for that reward ki mere ko fearlessness. And what is that fearlessness is explained in shloka 51 to 57 कि वो कहती है कि मुझे, मैं कभी आपकी ये एडवांस, आप इतने एडवांस हो वो मैं समझ ही नहीं पाई. एंड आई एम नॉट एबल टू टेक एडवांटेज ऑफ योर स्पिरिचुअल एडवांसमेंट. तो प्लीज रिवॉर्ड मी. और ये ऐसा क्यों हुआ? बिकॉज ऑफ माया. शी टोल्ड दैट कि माया के, देखो हम जिसके संग से हमारे अंदर बहुत सारे परिवर्तन आते हैं. तो यहाँ पे देवहूति वही लेमेंटेशन कर रही है कि मुझे आपके साथ रहने, आप इतने एडवांस हो, फिर भी मुझे आपके एडवांसमेंट का, मैं खाली माया के में फंसे, मैंने आपसे पुत्र प्राप्ति की इच्छा की, मटेरियल डिजायर की इच्छा की, अच्छे घर की इच्छा की, जो उन्होंने हवा महल बना के दिया था, एवरीथिंग. हाँ, तो उन्होंने कहा कि आई एम ट्रीटेड बाय माया. तो प्लीज तो जी नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में है ये मटेरियल एंटेंगलमेंट. तो उन्होंने, देखिए यहाँ पे एक पॉइंट है कि उन्होंने अपने पति को रोका नहीं, आप मुझे छोड़ के नहीं जा सकती. She told, okay, you want to go, you go, but give me that spiritual advancement, enlightenment, so that I can also elevate myself from this material world. और बाद में नेक्स्ट स्लाइड, lamentation over desires, वो हो गया. तो बाद में एनलाइटेन बाय सन. तो जब उन्होंने, कदम मुनि ने उनसे कहा कि मैं आपको एक पुत्र प्रदान करूंगा जो भगवान के श्वान से अवतार होंगे, जो आपको भक्ति प्रदान करेंगे. फिर हम आगे देखते हैं कि कपिल देव भगवान उनके पुत्र के रूप में अवतरित हुए. तो ये कदम मुनि की जो उन्होंने सेवा की थी, selfless service toward his husband, who is his spiritual master also. So she got husband, son as a मीन्स पति के रूप, उनको भगवानी पुत्र के रूप में प्राप्त हुए, जिन्होंने उनको भगवान के ग्लोरीज के बारे में बताया है, उन्होंने साधु संघ के बारे में बताया, और उन्होंने उन्होंने सांख्य योग के बारे में बताया, जो कि वर्किंग सिस्टम ऑफ मटेरियल वर्ल्ड विद इन 24 एलिमेंट ड्यू टू 3 मोड्स ऑफ मटेरियल नेचर में जो कार्य करते हैं उसे बताया है। और उन्होंने वो प्रैक्टिस की, सब जो कपिल देव ने उनको जो शिक्षा ये दी, उनको उन्होंने अपने जीवन में उतारा। तो उन्होंने कपिल देव का स्पिरिचुअल अबाउट जो स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड है वो प्राप्त किया एंड अटेंड परफेक्शन इन सिद्ध पदा। एंड उनका जो बॉडी था, it is become auspicious river in this material world. So teachings, learning from this, so we can this learning, what we can learn from these qualities. First is faithfulness. Wife must be faithful to her husband and should not accept another man or love. Whatever जो भी उसका पति है, whatever we should accept our husband as it is, and we should serve him in a selfless manner. So how we can serve him in a selfless manner? First, we should be very submissive. When we are submissive and we can take his instruction as it is, so what happened? And we should give up our all material vanities and all. And after that, we should serve our husband with affection. And there are so many things outside. Husband is working outside the world. He had so many frustrations. So as he come home, he got full comfort, and he should be treated with loving words and with full comforts. It is a duty of a wife to give him as much as comfort and stresslessness at home, so that he can work properly at outside the world, and married life should be go properly. And when we serve our wife, when wife serve his husband like that, she get security, that is fearlessness. And by serving, if husband is very advanced, so she get half of the property. And as we see in material also, when we take a wife and we can serve him, we can 50% of the property without any doing effort. So that is the things. And dedication is very important in any relationship. So when we serve our husband in fullest extent and selflessly, by serving spiritual advanced husband, wife automatically get liberated. As we see in the Dehuti, she didn't do much effort. उन्होंने कोई ज्यादा तपस्या नहीं की, खाली उन्होंने अपने हस्बैंड को सर्व किया, and in return she got पति, आध्यात्मिक पति का फेयरलेसनेस मिला, और उनको भगवान के रूप में, उनके पुत्र के रूप में पति के द्वारा प्राप्त हुआ. So we can learn from this devotee that how to be as a wife, how we should establish ourselves in the society, that we should be respectful, and we can give ideal housewife, how we can live ideal married life in this material world, as well as let's get benefit in the spiritual advancements also. Thank you, Puji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maji, thank you very much for the short and nice presentation. Any questions from any devotees?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji, for very wonderfully means we are presenting this philosophy of how the Mother Devati has such a quality for as a ideal housewife. So just because you are very elderly, Mataji, so just I am asking how to deal with such condition. In this, even the our scripture is mentioned why should not take the husband name. In generally previously as people mothers generally talk their husband by their name of their daughter or son, but nowadays this culture is very common. They are calling their husband's name, and even seeing the culture of this the Mother Devati. And if you compare with this nowadays, if you teach this type of philosophy to the modern age girls where they don't want to get married, they want to live in relation, that a lot of things are there. So how to convince them and how to approach and say them, because they are very tough to accept such type of philosophy, the modern girls.
Yes, because basically, see, if we see this in today's scenario, we see that there is a lack of education. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, I also don't know about, before learning the, well, before देवहूति के कैरेक्टर के पहले मुझे भी नहीं पता था ये सब इतनी सारी क्वालिटीज होनी चाहिए, बिकॉज सी इन अवर जो हम जिस समाज में रहते हैं वहां पे हमको ये एजुकेशन ही नहीं दिया जाता। सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम क्या है, हमको एजुकेशन ही नहीं दिया जाता है। इवन आज के माँ बाप क्या बोलते हैं, आपको है ना पति के जितना कमाना चाहिए ताकि आप किसी के अंडर में नहीं रहेंगे। बट इन परपोर्ट प्रभुपाद जी ऑलवेज कहते हैं कि जो फिजिकल अपीयरेंस, जो फिजिकल बॉडी भगवान ने दिया है, जो फिजिकल मेंटल हेल्थ या फिजिकल हेल्थ जो दी है भगवान ने, हाँ, दोनों की अलग अलग है। देखो ये दोनों गाड़ी के पहिए है प्रभु जी। तो अगर ऐसा कोई पैसा कमाने से कोई बहुत बड़ा नहीं होता, अगर हम दोनों ही पैसा कमाएंगे, बहुत पैसा है तो लाइफ हैप्पी होंगे, ऐसा नहीं है। इट इज रिटन, प्रभुपाद वहां पे लिखते हैं कि अगर ये मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग, थोड़ा टॉलरेंस वाइफ में नहीं होगा, हाँ, और अगर हस्बैंड वाइफ को रिस्पेक्ट नहीं देगा तो ये सब प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगे। बट यहाँ पे टीचिंग का ही कमी है। अगर हम ये सब चीजें उनको अगर पहले से बेसिक, माँ बाप, इट इज अ ड्यूटी ऑफ पेरेंट्स को बेसिक उनको पहले से ही माइंड में डाला जाए कि पैसा ही सब कुछ नहीं है। फैमिली लाइफ में हम बिना पैसे के भी अगर ये थोड़ी बहुत भी क्वालिटी हम कल्टिवेट करते हैं, जहाँ पे फेथफुलनेस है, यहाँ पे एक लिव इन रिलेशनशिप जो है आउटसाइड मैरिटल अफेयर के बारे में बहुत चला है, तो बिकॉज वहां पे एक चैस्टिटी नहीं है, ये नहीं तो उसके बारे में हमको सबको पहले ट्रेन करना पड़ेगा थ्रू द माध्यम ऑफ शास्त्राज एंड ऑल। तो ये प्रॉब्लम है। और कन्विंस करने की बात है तो हम उनको हमारे अप टू ये हम कैरेक्टर बता सकते हैं और उसके प्लस और माइनस बता सकते हैं कि देखो गाड़ी के दो पहिए, अगर कमाना ही है दोनों, अगर घर का काम कोई नहीं करेगा तो दोनों फ्रस्ट्रेट रहेगा। इट इज माय पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस। मैं जब दुबई में थी प्रभु जी, तो हमारे जो काउंसिलर थे उन्होंने कहा था कि आई वाज लाइक दैट, मेरे को भी कमाना है। तो बोले माता जी आप भी, प्रभु जी भी ऑफिस से थक के आए होंगे, आप भी थक के आओगे, तो ना आपका स्पिरिचुअल एडवांसमेंट ठीक से होगा, ना मटेरियल एडवांसमेंट ठीक होगा। तो इट इज बेटर टू स्टे एट होम एंड डू द भक्ति। सो इट इज वेरी रिलायबल, रिलेवेंट ऑल्सो। मेरी लाइफ में तो ये रिलेवेंट भी बहुत हुआ है प्रभु जी। बिकॉज ऑफ दैट आई प्रोग्रेस अ लॉट इन माई लाइफ एंड माई लाइफ इज वेरी पीसफुल। तो हमें जस्ट कन्विंस करना पड़ेगा, ये सब शास्त्रों का आधार लेके, करंट सिनारियो को बता के एंड उसके प्लस एंड माइनस बता के वी कैन ट्राई टू कन्विंस देम, which is very difficult,
Thank you,
but we can
Mataji.
try.
So means the only thing is that ki we have to teach these kids from
Beginning, yes. It is,
from lower age only, so that
हाँ,
they
yeah,
have the culture, and we have
yeah,
to give some example. Thank you, Mataji.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Any other devotees want to ask any questions?
I just want to say that it was a very nice presentation. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful presentation, Mataji.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Nice. Thank you very much. Very nice presentation.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So
Dhanwad
now
pranam.
we'll go ahead with the next presentation. Rajeshwari Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare
Teachings
Krishna.
of Lord Kapila, a summary.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam to all of you. The topic is Teachings of Lord Kapila, a summary. Yes, the third canto, 25 to 32, 8 chapters ka exist. Teachings of Lord Kapila is Sankhya philosophy, spoken to his mother Devahuti as he questioned him for the benefit of all of us. Sankhya Yoga, or the analytical study of the nature of spirit and matter, is the subject matter meant for persons who are inclined to separate, speculate, and understand things by experimental knowledge and philosophy. According to Vedic dictionary, Sankhya means that which describes the real nature of soul. Yoga involves controlling the senses. In general, Sankhya Yoga is Bhakti, Jnana, Ashtanga, and Nishkama Karma Yoga. Philosophically, Sankhya is the system expounds analytical knowledge that enables one to distinguish between matter and the spirit. This understanding culminates in Bhakti, devotion for and service for the Supreme Lord. That is Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya and Bhakti form two aspects of the same process, Bhakti being the ultimate goal or ultimate aspect of Sankhya. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks to Arjuna about Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, three divisions of Bhakti. In Sankhya Yoga also, similar to this, especially Second chapter, the contents of Bhagavad Gita are summarized. That comes in the Sankhya Yoga. In all the chapters, Srila Prabhupada will mention in his purport Karma Yoga with devotional service, Jnana Yoga with devotional service. Ultimately, everything should culminate into bhakti. If you take a sandwich, the main part is in between. That Bhakti Yoga, then above is the bread, below is the bread. Thus Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga ka beech mein Bhakti Yoga tha. So if you remove the upper part also, some aspect of bhakti will be there. If you take the lower part also, some aspect of the stuff will be there. So without devotional service, karma or jnana is not perfect. Like that, it is explained in Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, the 5 important topics of Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. Then Sankhya Yoga is all this, that Kala, that time consumer, is glance at Prakriti and Jiva is formed. And Jiva with Karma Swabhava Yoga should approach Ishvara. So from Ishvara, the Jiva comes, the Jiva should go back to Ishvara. That is the Sankhya philosophy. Karma and Swabhava. Yoga is the Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. The essence of Bhagavad Gita and teachings of Lord Kamila are similar. So Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. Karma aspect mein, he shows that about matter, 24 elements, body in the 24 elements. And yoga also with 28 elements, Lord Kapila speaks to Devahuti. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is bewildered due to compassion, which is the basic quality of a bhakta. Krishna gives him the confidence through Bhagavad Gita and he gets realization and becomes ready to fight. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Devahuti asks those she enjoyed in the material world with her husband, Kardama, then due to association of Kardama, she is longing for jnana to get liberation. Devahuti is asking questions because she had the realization because of association of Kardama. Association of materialist ignorantly leads to bondage. Association of the sadhu, even through ignorance, will lead to liberation. So Devahuti is asking Lord Kapila the questions. Please dispel my illusion of aham mameti. What kind of bhakti should I perform to easily attain your feet? On behalf of all of us, she is asking this question. Then she is also asking, explain jnana, to understand all the tattvas, creation, everything. Explain yoga, that Ashtanga yoga, everything, to aim at the Lord only for liberation. So for answering all these questions, Lord Kapila is teaching the Sankhya philosophy to Devahuti for benefit of all of us. Chapter 25 goes like this. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Yoga atyatmika pumsam mato nishreyasya ma atyanto pratiryatra dukkashya cha sukaya cha. The personality of Godhead said, the Atnyatmika yoga concerning the soul is the most beneficial as it causes detachment from material happiness as well as material distress. Material happiness also you should not be carried away. With material distress also, you should not take it to heart and lament. So Adhyatmika yoga is the final benefit for the soul, he says. It consists of 3 limbs, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga, which are explained in these 8 chapters 25 to 32. All these are only explained elaborately. Mind attached to the Lord leads to liberation. The best process of attaching the mind to Lord is Bhakti, endowed with Jnana and Vairagya. By Bhakti, devotee becomes unaffected by material existence and its influence. Krishna Katha in the association of pure devotees leads to advancement in Bhakti from Adhav Shakti to Prema. Then Bhakti Mishra Yoga, in which Ashtanga Yoga with Bhakti, and Bhakti Mishra Jnana is Jnana Yoga with Bhakti and Ashtanga Yoga. That leads to impersonal liberation. Chapter 26 and 27 says, Jiva has the free choice to be a materialist and enjoy in this material world. and remain in bondage only. Or Jiva can engage in Krishna consciousness, get a spiritual body, try to get liberation. The contaminated Jiva can progress and purify himself in bhakti and yoga with detachment. Faithfully practicing Bhakti Mishra Jnana with intense bhakti, the influence of the three modes, Prakriti, over Jiva can be removed because his mind is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Jiva attains the ultimate goal of impersonal liberation and thereby attains the Lord's abode only and never comes back. Even with that Brahman realization, he gets that he can overcome the cycle of birth and death. Here Kapila says. Chapter 28, Bhakti Mishra Ashtanga Yoga, to control the contaminated, unbewildered mind and fix it in the Lord only. Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. Samadhi is fully absorption in Lord. Such a yogi gets realization of the soul, but not liberation. So, chapter 29 says, Bhakti performed in ignorance, patience, and goodness in the three modes does not lead to purification because they are selfish motivated. They are performed only for the fruitive results, not for the eternal submittery for the Lord. So, bhakti performed beyond the three modes only is the manifestation of unadulterated devotional service, which surpasses liberation also. Because a pure devotee wants to be eternal servitor of the Lord. Here only, here itself, he is not affected by material distress or material happiness. He is serving the Lord. And even if he goes back to home, back to Godhead, there also he is eternal submitter of the Lord. So that is the true nature of a devotee, and that should be the true goal of life. Lord Kapila also talks about the characteristics of time. For time, no one is friend or enemy. Even Yamaraja and Brahmaja, they are also not spared by time. So about the characteristics of time, he speaks elaborately. Chapter 30 in Kapila, Lord Kapila explains how death is very painful, as well as birth is also very painful. Suffering from Kapavada Pitta, the Jiva dies miserably and after death experience punishment and for all bad karmas, suffering in the hell, attaining punishment, everything. These are all the purification process for the Jiva. Again, it takes birth and through some devotee association or something, he gets bhakti and he gets moksha. Chapter 31. If one doesn't want death because of all these miseries, one should not take birth only. If you don't want death, don't take birth at all. So, he should take the path of pure bhakti and avoid all birth and death cycle. Before birth, so how birth is also painful, the Lord Kapila says. Before birth, the jiva in the womb, hanging upside down for 9 months, remembering his past, suffering a lot. And then if the jiva is a devotee, he is praying to Lord. Amidst sufferings, to make him devotee in this life and get purified and become real servitor again. But once, due to labor pain, the jiva comes out of the womb of the mother, takes birth, that he forgets all the previous past everything and suffers throughout his life from boyhood, youth, everything because of Maya. So, without pure devotional service or with bhakti and realizing I am not the body, I am the soul, there is no chance to attain liberation. Then chapter 32 says, people performing Nishkama Karma Yoga travel through the path of sun and attain the God. The Hiranyagarbha worshippers remain in the material world till the end of Brahma's lifetime. When Brahma gives up his body and goes to the Lord, although Brahma becomes liberated, he cannot liberate his devotees. So, worshipping other demigods or other methods, they are not all the paths leading to same goal. That is not correct. So, only you worship Supreme Lord and do devoted service. Only the Supreme Lord can liberate one from the clutches of Maya. And without bhakti, no one can become liberated. Better to perform bhakti only. So, Sakama Karma worshippers also, attachment for fruitive results, attain Pitruloka, and after their pious credits are exhausted, they fall again in the cycle of birth and death. So, Bhakti unto the Lord Vasudeva makes one advance in knowledge and detachment as well as self-realization. Because Bhagavan contains both Brahman and Brahmatma realization of Bhagavan. By Bhakti includes realization of both Paramatma and Brahman realization. So Bhagavan realization contains both Paramatma and Brahman. So better to do Bhakti. By practicing jnana for Brahman realization and yoga for Paramatma realization, one does not attain the position of an associate of the Lord, for this is nowhere stated in the scriptures. From Mahat Tattva, Lord manifested false ego, the three modes, the five elements, 11 senses, etc. The whole universe has come from him only. So those who are averse to this transcendence realize the absolute truth differently through mistaken speculation, and thus everything appears to them as false. Everything is false is not true. Everything rests on the Lord. So, by faith, bhakti, practice of yoga, and detachment with a constantly controlled mind, and by giving up material association, one attains jnana, the knowledge. Either bhakti or jnana, one has to find the same destination, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who try to find the Lord by mental speculation may approach his bodily effulgence, impersonal Brahman. Those who try to find him by mystic yoga may realize him as the localized super soul. But those who directly approach the supreme truth by bhakti yoga can see him face to face and become eternal servitor of the Lord in his abode. Thus, the Supreme Lord is the ultimate destination for all processes. Bhakti is the best path, and Bhagavan realization is the ultimate solution. One who is faithfully hears or speaks this topic achieves the Lord's abode. So, in a short thing, teachings of Lord Kapila, and in the Bhagavad Gita, teaching of the three main parts, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti is the best. So, through Bhakti, you can attain the lotus feet. Now, what is the easy way to attain the lotus feet? Devahuti is asking. He says, Bhakti Yoga is the easiest way to attain the lotus feet. That is the gist of teaching of Lord Kapila. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for the short presentation. Yeah, devotees, any questions? Hare Krishna. Devotees, any questions?
No, Prabhuji.
No. Others?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. No questions. We'll move ahead with another devotee, Ananda Chidrika Mataji. Distinctions of karma, jnana, yoga, and bhakti based on the teachings of Lord Kapila.
हाँ,
This will
हरे
be-
कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण माताजी।
प्रभु जी, मैंने आपको पीपीटी भेजा है, आप स्क्रीन पे ओपन कर सकते हैं क्या?
इसमें ओके ओके, अभी आया। Yeah, yes. You can go ahead. In the meantime, I'll open.
Yeah. एक मिनट प्रभु जी, ओपन करना प्लीज।
डाउनलोड हो रहे हैं
जी प्रभु, तब तक मैं स्टार्ट करती हूँ प्रभु जी।
हाँ, यस यस,
मेरे कंप्यूटर पे। हाँ, तुम चालू करो। नाही तू फक्त याच्यात पुढे पुढे जा ना, मी सांगेल। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। Hare Krishna, all the devotees. My topic for today is distinctions of karma, jnana, yoga, and bhakti based on teachings of Lord Kapila. Next slide. Mother Devahuti asked Lord Kapila some questions like, please dispel my illusion of aham mameti due to my false ego and created by your maya. What kind of bhakti should I perform to easily attain your feet? explain the jnana by which one understands the tattvas, and explain the yoga aimed at Lord for liberation. How many limbs does it have? For answering to Mother Devahuti, Lord Kapila has talked upon jnana, then Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti, and also karma. So we will just touch all these topics. As per given in presentation, we will first go to karma. So Lord answers, Yoga Adhyatmikam Punsa Mato Nishreyasayame Atyanto Paratir Yatra Dukkhasya Cha Sukhasya Cha. I consider Adhyatmika Yoga, that is a yoga system concerning the soul, as most beneficial as it causes detachment from material happiness and distress. Now, Adhyatmika Yoga consists of Bhakti, Jnana, and Ashtanga Yoga. Bhakti is superior to Jnana and Yoga, and perfection in self-realization cannot be attained by any kind of yogi unless he engages in Bhakti. So, whether it is Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, it is always Bhakti Mishrit. Next. Then only he can get success in this endeavor. Now, coming to karma, nobody can remain without doing any karma at any moment of time. So karmas are of three types. First is karma or sakam karma, that is doing prescribed activities according to shastric injunctions. The other one is doing prescribed activities, not prescribed activities, doing activities against shastric injunctions. And the third one and most important is akarma, that is doing prescribed activities for satisfaction of Lord Krishna. Next. Prabhuji, kindly change the slides. Now, coming to the Sakam Karmi, that is the first one. He performed karma for, for enjoying Artha and Kama. He is not interested in Bhakti to Supreme Lord. He worshipped the Devatas, but he is interested in worshipping the Devatas and Pitras. After death, he is elevated to the moon. He drinks soma and comes back to earth after some time. Lord Kapila criticizes Sakam Karmi because he is just wasting his human form of life for some bhoga like Swarga bhogas and all. Next. The more intelligent person executes Swadharma with detachment. He offers fruits of his activities to the Lord. He is always peaceful and without false ego. After his death, he travels to the path of sun and attains Lord. In the third person, that is the one who does activities against the Shastras, that is materialist person. That is person doing adverse fruitive activities. So his life is painful, death is painful, and post-death is also painful. So we will talk about his life. Materialistic person has deep-rooted attraction for family, like women, children, home, and other money. He always performs sinful acts to maintain family. He remains in family life, which is full of diplomacy and politics. He himself gets indulged in that also. He secures money by committing violence. When he doesn't have money, he desires others' wealth also. And when he becomes old and nobody respects him, he stays at home like a pet dog. Whatever he gets, he eats and he stays over there. Next. In life, it is not very good, but at death also, his pleasures are all destroyed by time. So he lamenting that his position, power, wealth has gone due to the influence of time. But bewildered by Maya, he is less inclined to leave the body. Though he is lamenting, but he is less inclined to leave the body. And even if he leaves the body, he finds satisfaction in whatever species he takes birth in. At the time of death, his eyes bulge out, glands become congested, and he coughs and breathes with difficulty. And many relatives are there; they are surrounding him, lamenting, but he cannot speak, and he finally dies in grief and in great pain. After death, next. Post-death experience also is very bad. Yamadutas arrest him, drag him by tying a rope around his neck. He is bitten by dogs on the path. He remembers his sins and he is in great pain. He gets whipped on his back. He travels 99,000 yojanas in 2-3 muhurtas, reaches Yamaraja, and Yamaraja then does justice in form of what he will get after, which type of hell he will get next. In hell also there are many types of hells, around 27, I think. Tamisra, Anda Tamisra, Rau. Some of the hellish pain inflicting activities, like his limbs are set on fire, he is made to eat his own flesh, he is bitten by serpents and scorpions, his limbs are torn apart by elephants, then he is put in the hot oil. These are all next. Next. So who is candidate suitable for hell? One who maintains himself and his family by sinful means and who acquires money by violence to others. So we should always think whether on this part, whether we are doing this, because if it is we are doing this, then there is no question of bhakti. If we are maintaining ourselves and our family by sinful means and uh, trying to get other people's money, then we are suitable candidate for hell. So we should always be very vigilant what we are doing. Next. So here the karma section is finished. Now we will go to jnana or sankhya. That is, jnana or sankhya is analytical study of spirit and matter. What are the advantages of hearing sankhya? That one person is freed from influence of three modes. He attains perfection of self-realization and not of attachment to material world is cut off by hearing this jnana. Now in jnana there are these parts which are important of discussion: Purusha, Jiva Prakriti interaction, and Prakriti. Next. Purusha is Anadiratma Purusho Nirguna Prakrute Paraha Pratyagdhatma Swayam Jyotir Vishwam Yena Samanvitam. Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Soul and he has no beginning. He is transcendental to material modes. He is beyond existence of material world. He is perceivable everywhere as his self-effulgent, and by his self-effulgent luster, the entire creation is maintained. He is Anadi Ananta. He has no beginning, no end. Next. Jiva is marginal energy of Lord. The soul characteristics are described in Bhagavad Gita 2.20, like na jayate mriyate va kadajin nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuya ajo nitya shashvato ayam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. For the soul there is neither birth nor death. He has not come into being and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. And most importantly, he is part and parcel of Supreme Lord. He is Anu Atma and Supreme Lord is Vibhu Atma. Now, Jiva Prakriti is interaction. Jiva is bewildered by seeing different forms of Prakriti and he misidentifies with Prakriti. He thinks himself as a doer and he gets in bondage. That is repeated birth and death. He gets entangled in repeated birth and death. Next. Now Prakriti, that is external energy of Lord. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the unmanifested combination of three modes is the cause of manifested and is called Pradhana. It is called Prakriti when in the manifested stage of existence. 24 elements when they are together, but there is no manifestation. There is no manifestation. That is called Pradhana, and it is this stage is just prior to Prakriti, where there is manifestation. Next. Then 24 elements, which are these 24 elements? 5 gross elements, 5 tanmantras, then 10 senses, the 5 action senses and 5 knowledge senses, and 4 antakarnas, mind, intelligence, false ego, and chitta. Now, characteristics of pradhana, that is, it is avyakta, eternal, and it is aggregate of 3 modes. 3 modes are there. It is cause of prakriti, and it consists of cause and effect, but it is undifferentiated. Next. Now, when this 25th element, time, that is, it instigates fear of death in conditioned jivas, but it agitates gunas in prakriti. That leads to material creation. Lord exists in our heart as Paramatma, and outward, he is externally, he exists as time. This time factor, 25th element, it is the main factor which agitates gunas so that pradhana gets converted to prakriti. Next. Now, these are 5, from where these get 5 gross elements and tanmantras are from. The first thing, this chitta and false ego, they come from Mahat-tattva. False ego gets converted into 3 modes, sattva, rajas, and tamas. And false ego in sattva gives rise to mind, false ego in rajas gives rise to intelligence and 10 senses, and false ego in tamas gives rise to 5 gross elements and their tanmantras. Next. Now, Mahat, after the Mahat-tattva, after the Prakriti is agitated by time, the Lord impregnates it with jivas and it gives birth to the effulgent Mahat-tattva. It is sum total of cosmic intelligence. It is called Hiranmaya, like a big egg, golden egg, it looks like. These Vasudeva, Sattva Guna, or Chitta manifest in Mahat-tattva. Next. Now, Virat Rupa. When the all elements were unmixed, Supreme Lord enters the universe, that is that egg, universal egg, along with Kala, Karma, and Gunas. These elements get aroused into activity, and due to presence of Lord, the unintelligent egg arose, from which appears Virata Rupa, Virata Purusha. Virata Purusha gets situated himself in that egg and divides that egg into 14 compartments. Supreme Lord's gross sense organ gives rise to subtle sense organ of Virata Purusha and sense devata. For example, Lord's mouth gives rise to organ of speech and fire god. Devatas tried to wake up this Virata Purusha but could not do so. Even the devata, along with that sense organ, they enter the aperture of Virata Purusha, but they are not able to wake up Virata Purusha. Till the time when Lord Vasudeva enters the heart of Virata Purusha with Chitta, then the Virata Purusha woke up. Next. Next. Goal of this is back. Explaining this analysis of elements is that the super soul, the pranas, mind, and intelligence cannot wake up a sleeping individual without intervention of the super soul. Till the time Lord Vasudeva does not enter Virata Purusha, there is no activity. Next. Now, this is all knowledge about Sankhya. After getting this knowledge, when the Jnani gets perfection, these are the qualities of Jnani. He is equal to all jivas. He is not inimical to anybody. He is celibate, grave. His eating is regulated. He lives in secluded places, friendly to everybody, and he does not identify with body. And such a final liberation of Jnana Yogi, such a yogi when engages in self-realization for many lifetimes, with complete detachment from everything, then he becomes self-realized by my mercy. This Lord Kapila is telling, and attains his ultimate goal, having cut all the doubts. He is destined abode under my shelter and never comes back. When his heart is no longer attached to byproducts of yoga, he can attain final liberation. Next. So here we are ending with jnana, and now we are going to the third part, that is Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga has 8 elements: yama, niyama, asana, uh, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Next, yamas. There are few yamas where non-violence, refraining from theft, celibacy, fruitfulness, and silence. Niyamas. Next. Executing prescribed duties to best of our ability, satisfied with what Lord has given us. Worship lotus feet of Guru, eat very less, always remain in secluded place. These are some niyamas. Where next. Now asana. By proper posture and asanas, the Ashtanga Yogi attains steadiness by mastering this correct asanas. In pranayama, he controls the breathing of vital air. And in pratyahara, withdrawing senses from material objects, the yogi concentrates mind in the heart. In dharana, fixing the prana at one spot among the various chakras by mind, he meditates on Lord's beautiful form. In dhyana, he meditates on the individual limbs of Lord and his Vaikuntha Leelas. In samadhi, that is final stage for Ashtanga Yogi, this is state of mind being virtually fully absorbed in the Lord. This is the final stage for Ashtanga Yogi. Now we will go to Bhakti. Without Bhakti, Ashtanga Yoga or Jnana, to achieve Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, to achieve the perfection of life, it is very difficult. So, at many times, Lord Kapila has told that uh, you have to practice Dhyana Mishrit. If you are practicing Jnana also, Bhakti should be there. If you are practicing Ashtanga Yoga also, Bhakti should be there. Then only the process will become swifter. Now, this Ashtanga Yoga's liberation of yogi, something is remaining in this. By his meditation, the Ashtanga Yogi develops love for Lord, exhibits symptoms like hair standing and tears rolling. Gradually, he withdraws his hook-like mind from all the material activity. Then detached mind becomes situated in its own glory, transcendental to all happiness and distress. He realizes the truth of God and discovers that pleasure and pain are actually due to false ego. So, charged by Lord, and its functions continue until its destined activity. Next. So coming to Bhakti. Now, Mother Devahuti has asked about path of Bhakti. Bhakti is, that is pure devotional service, is the ultimate goal and ultimate sadhana and sadhya both for uh, a person who wants to get association of Lord, get shelter at Lord's lotus feet. Various classes of bhakti. When devotee is in ignorance and practicing bhakti, his intentions are like envy, violence, pride, and anger. When he is in the mode of passion, he desires for material enjoyment, fame, opulence. When he is in the mode of goodness, he desires to free from himself from karma and offers results to Lord and worships the Lord as a duty. Next. Now, beyond modes, what are the character? When the bhakti is beyond modes, what are its characters? It's unadulterated devotional service, unadulterated, unmotivated. No adulteration is there. No, neither the bhakta thinks he is a very good, very jnani or yogi. He just thinks himself as servant of the servant of Lord. Devotee rejects liberation without service. Even if Lord is ready to give him liberation, if that liberation does not contain service, he will not accept it. Devotee is ready to go to hell if there he is getting service to the Lord, but he will not accept liberation. The highest state of existence is called bhakti. In bhakti, The devotee surpasses the three gunas and it is situated in the transcendental stage like Lord and attains prema directed to the Lord. Next. Now these are angas of bhakti which are ready to practice for a purification of mind. One should execute prescribed duties without any desire for material profit. Regularly perform one's devotional activities without excessive violence. Then he should do deity worship like seeing, touching, worshipping, praying, and offering obeisances to the deity. Then always see the world with detachment and with patience. Every living entity is spiritual. Always we should see that Lord is there as Paramatma in every living entity. One should respect spiritual master and the acharyas, the sadhus. One should show compassion to the unfortunate people. Then execute all activities with regulation and sense control. One should be friendly to one's equals and always hearing about spiritual matters, chanting Lord's holy name, straightforward behavior should be there. There should be no putinati. One should be very saral by heart, associating with saintly persons and giving up false ego. Next. Now, how to get bhakti in association of pure devotee or sadhu is very important to get bhakti. Like here, Mother Devahuti is taking association of Lord only. Lord tells that you should get association whenever you get opportunity. You should associate with sadhu. So, what are the qualities of sadhu? Is tolerant, merciful, friendly to all beings. Is without enemies, peaceful, and always abides by scriptures. He engages in staunch devotional service to the Lord without deviation and renounces all material actions and relations to attain the Lord. He is always absorbed in hearing, chanting, remembering Lord, and thus does not suffer from material miseries. Next. No. These are the characters of devotee who has attained the stage of when to get Krishna prema, asakti, ruchi, bhava, and then prema, the association of pure devotee is a must. Now, what are the characteristics of devotee in bhava? Attained by Vaidhi Bhakti or Raganuga Bhakti. He never desires impersonal liberation. He always engages in service to the Lord's lotus feet. He glorifies Lord's activities in association with devotees. He sees Lord's attractive smiling face with red eyes. He sees Lord's benevolent transcendental forms. Talk favorably with Lord, about devotees. Um, Bhakti gives liberation without separate endeavor, although not desiring it. The if the person is not jnani or ashtang yogi, but he is just a bhakta, just a devotee, he can get Krishna prema if he desires so, if he tries so. The bhakta don't desire higher planets, ashtasiddhis, or even kingdom of God, but they attain all benedictions even in this life, and Lord gives them his abode. So bhaktas are not deprived of any opulence or affected by time because they accept the Lord as their lover, son, friend, etc. in the spiritual world. Next. So this is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakta. Devotee is explicitly worship Lord, giving up all the attachment of this world. By devotion to Lord, his fear of material world is overcome. Yogi takes shelter of Lord's lotus feet, equipped with jnana and vairagya. And greatest benefit, that is prema to Lord, the Supreme Lord, can be achieved only through offering one's mind in intense bhakti to Lord, the Supreme Lord. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Any questions from any devotees? Okay. Thank you, Mataji, for the nice presentation. Yeah,
Thank you,
this
Prabhuji.
presentation actually you kind of given the entire summary of the 8 chapters, which
Yes,
could be
Prabhuji.
which could be
Yes,
the related to which could be related to the previous presentation summary of teachings for Adgatla. So from your
yes,
topic, the
Prabhuji.
expectation is, so what are the 4 different sadhanas? What are the practices? What are the results? Like that. There should be some comparative analysis of these sadhanas. That was the expected thing. But anyway, you tried your best. So thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So we'll go ahead with the next presentation. Namakirti Prabhu. Quick summary.
कृष्ण
Yes, Prabhu.
प्रभु जी मैंने भेजा हूँ
भेजा क्या?
आई हैव सेंड बाय मेल एंड व्हाट्सएप आल्सो प्रभु जी
अभी अभी भेजा.
नहीं प्रभु जी वो हो गया 1 घंटा हो गया
12:26. 1 घंटा मतलब प्रेजेंटेशन के बीच में नहीं चेक कर सकता हूँ ना. Okay, you start.
in the meanwhile you can hi just ज्ञान तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुं नित्यं तस्मै श्री गुरवे the seeking blessings of all assembled Vaishnavas. I'm trying to summarize the third canto. Basically, the whole third canto basically talks about 2 things: the process and the purpose of the creation. In Srimad Bhagavatam 3.5.23, it is said, Bhagwan eka ashedam agra atmatma vibhu atmechanabgato atma nana matyupal lakshano. The personality of Godhead, the master of all living beings, existed before prayer the creation as one without a second. It is by his will only that creation is made possible, and again everything matches in him. The Supreme Self is symptomized by different names. In Brahma Samhita also, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakaranaka. Krishna is known as Govinda, is the Supreme Lord. He has eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all, no other origin, and he is prime cause of all causes. So initially, the personality of Godhead Krishna, Lord Krishna, expanded himself as Mahanarayana and who further as Mahavishnu. At the beginning of creation, sleeping alone, when there is no desire to create, at the time of previous annihilation, keeping all the living entities and all the elements with Prakriti, Kala within his own form and sleeping calmly. When he desired to manifest into very many universes, many living entities, they suddenly open his eyes and glance upon Maya and impregnates her with Kal Shakti and Jiva Shakti. Since Maya is Dravya, Mahakal Shakti, Mahakali, and on the way transforms himself to Sadashiva and Mahakala Purusha. By the interaction of Mahakala Purusha and Mahakali, creation happened. Then Jiva enters into her along with their karma and swabhava. So, in Srimad Bhagavad Gita 14.3, Mama Yonir Mahad Brahma Tasmin Garbham Tadamiham Sambhava Sarva Bhutanam Tato Bhavati Bharat. The total material existence, material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living entities. Actually, there is, then as a result of interaction of Kala, Karma and Swabhava with Pradhana consisting of 3 modes of material nature, 4 things happened. First, the mode of goodness activated. 3 things happened. The mode of goodness activated as a result of that appearance, Mahatattva consisting of Jnana Shakti happened. Along with Mahatattva, its presiding deity Lord Brahma or Lord Vishnu as a Gunavataras appeared. Second, the mode of passion activated as a result of that appearance, Shutra Tattva or Mukhya Prana appeared. Along with Shutra Tattva, its presiding deity Vayu appears. Third, the mode of ignorance activated as a result of that appearance, ahankara, appeared ahankara, its presiding deity, Rudra also appeared. Now all three modes are activated. Next page. All the 24 elements which were manifested from Pradhana being glanced by Mahavishnu upon it, they all suddenly by the will of the Lord, all the 14 elemental devatas of these 24 elements assumed their physical forms and offer some prayers and request and empowerment. They served by the Lord appropriate way. So Lord became pleased by their prayers and answered to the prayers. Lord enters into the 24 elements as a cohesive energy. Combine all the elements together. By that combination appears unlimited universes with 7 layers. Panch Mahabhutas and Ahankara and Mahatattva, which were floated in the causal ocean almost 1000 celestial as lifeless. In order to bring life in dead universes, Karnadaksha Vishnu for the expansion as a Garbhodaksha Vishnu enters into each and every universe as its Paramatma, filled lower off with water and upper off with ether and air. Then Garbhodaksha Vishnu went deep sleep in a Garbhodaka ocean and take rest. While taking rest, in order to further creation, he manifested the subtle universal form consists of 3 divisions. 1 Jiva Shakti, 10 Prana Shaktis and 3 Atma Shaktis. When it was the right time to continue the procreation, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, who was holding the 24 elements and all the living entities with their karma and swabhava with his transcendental abdomen, within his transcendental abdomen, just looked upon his abdomen, appeared as beautiful lotus from his navel. Garbhodaksha Vishnu expanded himself as a Kshirodaksha Vishnu. Then he entered into the lotus as its Paramatma. Then the first living entity, Lord Brahma, appears on that lotus. In Srimad Bhagavatam 3.8.15, Talloka Patmam Sau Eva Vishnuhu Pravishat Sarva Gunavabhasam Tasmin Swayam Vedamayo Vibhata Swayam Bhuvam Yam Sma Vedanti Sobhur. Into that universal lotus flower, Lord Vishnu personally entered into entered as a super soul. And when it was that thus impregnated with all the modes of material nature, the personal Godhead, Vedic wisdom, whom we call the self-born, was generated. Next, Lord Brahma performed tapasya. As a result of that, he had wonderful darshan of Lord Vishnu, the Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Brahma offered wonderful prayers. Then Lord Brahma had Chatusloki Bhagavatam. Then Lord Vishnu inspires him to do some more tapasya so that he's supposed to do everything will be relieved to him. Lord Brahma then performed tapasya for 100 celestial years. In chapter 10, 12 and 20 explained about what and how Brahmaji did creation. Basically, the Lord Brahma starts Visarga creation. He divided entire lotus into 3 divisions basically, further into 14 divisions. Then he created different forms of suitable living entities, basically 4 categories. First category, different varieties of immovable living entities such as plants and creepers. Second category includes aquatics, reptiles, mammals, birds, and different types of animals. Third category includes all human beings. Fourth category includes 8 types of superhuman beings, which are devatas, gandharvas, apsaras, kinras, kampusas, etc. Next, Roji. Then we go to purpose of the creation. In Srimad Bhagavatam 3.20.18, it is said, Sasarja yavidyam pancha parvanam agrataha tamishram andatamishram tamo moha mahatamaha. First of all, Brahma created from his shadow the covering of ignorance of the conditioned souls. These are 5 in number. Tamishra, Andatamishra, Tamas, Moha, Mahamoha. The conditioned souls are living entities who come to the material world to enjoy sense gratification are covered in the beginning by 5 different conditions, which makes the soul to forget oneself being the part and parcel of the Lord, and makes one identity oneself with the body in which one is living. With that marginal material position is 5 covering of ajnana will bind a jiva in this material world. So, कैसे बांधते हैं? I am the demigod, I am the human being, I am animal, I am so and so. These identities are very strong. Then why the Supreme Lord created this universe also maintaining it? What is the reason? So, answer is for the enjoyment of jiva and inspire him go back home back to Godhead. Somehow or other, out of curiosity, one has come here and struck up here. This is not jiva's eternal existence. Jiva is supposed to back home back to Godhead. Lord Kapila taught the Adhyatmic yoga contains of 3 processes: Jnana, Ashtanga and Bhakti yoga. For these 3 processes require some prerequisites, some do's and don'ts, controlling the senses, following the rules and regulations, all are required. So, next project. First of all, explained about Nishkam Karma Yoga. By not following the Vedas, one will engage in sinful activities, vikarma. If following the Vedas, one may do Sakam Karma. Still, both keep one in the material world, life after life. Like day after day of Lord Brahma, creation after creation, one can remain in this material world only. Then what is the solution? In Srimad Bhagavad Gita 3.30 says, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasatyatmaka chetasa nayasir nirmamo bhutva yuktasva vigatajvara. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrender all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desire for profit, with no claim to proprietorship and free from lethargy. So basically explain, matlab, without any material benefits, one should propagate devotional services for the satisfaction of the Vishnu. This is Nishkama Karma Yoga. Then next project, Jnana Yoga, analytical study of 28 elements, that is 24 elements, 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, 5 Mahabhutas, 5 Tanmatras, Man, Buddhi, Ahankar and Mahatattva. These are 24 elements plus Ishvara, Jiva, Kala and Prakriti, which are briefly described in Bhagavad Gita also. Based on this knowledge of Sankhya philosophy, knowledge of 28 elements, one develops sufficient detachment from this material world, and when one can take some serious austerities, 17 rules are there, and whoever willing to practice these rules, tapasya, then with that tapasya, jnana and vairagya, one can attain liberation, means saijya mukti. In any case, in order to attain any result, the element of bhakti is always required. As Krishna says in Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyascha smritaha. So, next Prabhuji, Ashtanga Yoga. The name itself indicates 8 processes, 8 angas are there. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So many discussions are there in previous slides also. So many devotees are explaining very nicely. No need to go through. Now, Dhyana and Dharana are so much mesmerizing that it will attract everyone. But this yogi had a very deep desire to attain Saijya Mukti. So he is meditating the form of Paramatma, but he doesn't want to serve the Paramatma, doesn't want to go to Vaikuntha. Instead, he wants to attain Saijya Mukti only. So, Vaishnava Acharya says he is unfortunate yogi. Why? If someone wants to go to Vaikuntha and serve the Lord, of course, meditation is continuing till the time of going back to Godhead. But since he wants to attain Brahman, slowly withdraws the mind from Paramatma. And when he withdraws, the mind has also no activity to perform, neither material nor spiritual. So mind is there, it is as good as dead. In the dead state, it is called Brahma Bhuta stage. Not only the mind, the entire body of the yogi who practicing the sadhana, this sadhana doesn't identify with the body and doesn't use the body also. Vaishnava Acharya says, these dhyana dharana followers are foolish. He was completely meditating upon pastimes of Paramatma. Actually, after doing so much, still he wanted to enter in Brahman only. But some fortunate yogis having witnessed this beauty of the Lord may develop a desire to go to Vaikuntha. Even though he studied in yoga, he is cheated Bhakti Rasa. Next, probably Bhakti Yoga. Among the three, Bhakti is most auspicious path according to Lord Kapila. And all Shastras is also emphasizing this. And all great sages also emphasizing. Then one may ask, when Lord Kapila declaring Bhakti is the suitable of all, when why other processes are explained? Then similarly, just an inquisitive person tries to understand Bhakti so that one can practice Bhakti. Similarly, intelligent person wants to know other process also so that there will be no confusion. When one selects one path, there will be no kind of confusion. So how can I understand and execute Bhakti? From the great devotees. How do I understand that somebody is devotee? Then Lord Kapila says about primary and secondary qualities. Primary qualities are there. Mai ananyena bhavena bhaktim kurvanti ye dridam mat krute tyaktva karmanas tyakta swajana bandavaha. Such a sadhu engages in staunch devotion service of the Lord without deviation. For the sake of the Lord, he renounces all other connections, such as family relations and friendly acquaintance within the world. Secondary qualities are there. Titikshava karunikaha surda sarvadehinam ajataha satrava santo sadhava sadhubhushanaha. The symptoms of sadhu are there. That is tolerant, merciful, and friendly to all living entities, and no enemies, is peaceful, abides by the scriptures. All his characteristics are sublime. After identifying such devotees, go to such devotees and faith and bhakti. When they will engage one in devotional activities such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So as one engaged in bhakti, being instructed by these wonderful devotees who possess primary and secondary qualities, gradually we engage in bhakti, that is bhajana kriya. There is a bhajana kriya always. Then when bhajana kriya appropriately following, there is anartha nivrutti, and then after that anartha nivrutti in the association of such strong devotees, there is a quick manifestation of nishta, ruchi, asakti, prema, attained prema also. This is how one comes to the platform of prema very quickly, by the association of such devotees. Characteristics of the Uttama Bhakti. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also, Anyabhilashita Sunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavrutam Anukulyena Bhakti Krishna Anusilanam Bhakti Uttama. Similar sloka is there in 3rd canto, 25th chapter 32 also. Devanam Gunalinganam Anushravika Karmanam Sattva Evaika Manaso Vritti Swabhaviki Tuya Animitta Bhagavati Bhakti Siddher Gariyasi. Lord Krishna said, the senses are symbolic representation of demigods, and their natural inclination is to work under the direction of the Vedic injunctions. As the senses are representative of demigods, so the mind is representative of the Supreme Personal Godhead only. The mind's natural duty is to serve. When that service spirit is engaged in devotion service to the Supreme Personal Godhead without any motive, that is far better than salvation also. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam ऋषिकेन ऋषिकेश सेवनम भक्ति उत्तम भक्ति के बारे में भक्ति रसायन सिंधु में भी ये बताया गया है. From NOD we have taken these two verses are kind of compare and saw. What happens by practicing bhakti? The unwanted portions are burned to ashes. Are they expeded like the waste products from the stomach? And good portions will nourish our gross and subtle body and become spiritualized. So, अकाम सर्वकामो वा मोक्षकामो उदारति तीव्रेण भक्ति योगेन जेत पुरुषम परम. जब किसी को अगर कोई कामना है, अगर किसी कामना बिना कोई कामना का है और शुद्ध भक्ति केवल भक्ति करने की चेष्टा करनी चाहिए. By following the teachings of Lord Kapila, two great personalities instantly went back to Godhead, Kardama and Devahuti. Similarly, anyone who ever follows in their footsteps will also go back home, back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada also propagate Krishna consciousness to all over the world. So we have take this path very seriously in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant. Take inspiration and practice and finally go back home, back to Godhead. That is the understanding of my understanding of Canto 3. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Since we don't have much time, we have a couple of more presentations to do. So we'll move on with the next presentation. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the nice presentation. Yeah.
Hare
Yeah, we'll go
Prabhuji,
ahead.
I have
Yes,
a question.
Mataji.
Prabhuji, the purpose of creation is hidden in our Vedas or Bhagavad Gita, or it's not so clearly given why the purpose of creation is there. Is any shloka in any Vedas or Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita is clear cut giving the thing that the purpose of creation is
No,
what?
we have some shlokas in the Bhagavatam also. We discussed in our presentations. When we discussed fifth chapter, I spoke about a couple of shlokas from the later part of the Bhagavatam. So there is a clear cut in the understanding. So every instant it may not be there. Simple. The purpose of creation is to facilitate us go back home, back to Godhead.
Yes.
So that is also indicated in many places, and Bhagavad Gita also we come across many times Lord indicating about that. Bhagavatam also we see many times every devotee is going back to God means that is the purpose. Because why there are stories talking about people going back to God? But that is the purpose.
So Prabhuji, why don't we discuss in our daily Bhagavatam classes this, that the purpose of creation is for that? Yes, this stories or this thing are connected with it. But is there any definite clear-cut shlokas or with the translation that the purpose was made for this and we have to follow this and achieve this?
10th Canto 87 chapter shloka number 2.
1087 2. Okay, Prabhuji. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. Satyabhama Murthy Mataji, you can start your presentation. Describe the various classes of Bhakti, the Angas of Bhakti, impediments and the process to overcome.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I mailed the presentation to you also, but I am sharing from here.
Yeah,
It
good.
is visible, Prabhuji? It is visible?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam to all assembled devotees. Dandot Pranam Prabhuji. I'll try to make my small attempt here to talk about the various classes of Bhakti. So the first topic, the various classes of Bhakti have been categorized or based on the qualities of the performer of the Bhakti. So we have these two categories, three categories here. The first one is in the tamasic mode or in the mode of ignorance, where both the tamasic mode and the rajasic mode are considered to be in the separatist mentality, wherein they want to enjoy their own interest, which interests are separate from the interest of the Supreme Lord. And in the mode of ignorance, the performer has intentions of enviousness, violence, pride, and anger. And because of a separatist mentality, there is no compassion. And such a performer, his bhakti or his devotional service is not pure. It is mixed. And it is of one of the lowest grade, or called the tamasaha, in the tamasaha mode. And it is devoid of any compassion. In the next category, the performer is in the mode of passion. He has lots of desires for material enjoyment, name, fame, and opulence. Again, this enjoyment, this interest he has, it is for his own, and which is different from the interest of the Lord. So this Pritak Bhava, the separatist, again, separatist desire he has to enjoy separately from that of the Lord's desire. So any devotional service performed by this person is also not pure. And he desires for objects other than the Supreme Lord himself. And again, in the third category, in the sattvic mode or the mode of goodness, the personality or the devotee desires to free himself from karma, offers the results to the Lord, and worships the Lord as a duty. So here also in the mode of goodness also, the devotee desires for liberation by offering his results to the Lord, but again it is not in the purest mode. While in all these processes, bhakti is not affected. The performer of the bhakti, only the performer of the bhakti is possessing these qualities. So bhakti is beyond these three modes. So we shall see now what are the different angas of bhakti. Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu has given us one moment. Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu has given us the 64 angas of the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, which are the preliminary necessities for beginning the discharge of devotional service and in using the regulative principles, without which one cannot elevate, to the platform of sadhana bhakti. So the initial processes are the accepting the lotus feet of a spirit, which are the 10 items. The first 10 items are described, and which one cannot, avoid. That is accepting the shelter of the lotus feet of a bona fide spiritual master, and then getting initiated by the spiritual master and serving him with awe and reverence, and obeying the orders of the spiritual master, and then following the steps of great acharyas, so on and so forth. Now, the first are the activities which he has to do. The second, the other set of activities are what he has to give up in the activities of rejection, that he has to give up the company of non-devotees, and not instruct a person who is not desirous of accepting devotional service, and he should not disrespect the demigods, and so on and so forth. The last five stages, which are explained in this 64 item sadhana bhakti, is the sadhu sanga nama kirtan bhaga vashravan mathura vasa Sri Murte Shraddhaya Sevan. So I also heard one of the Mataji said, mention about this 5 important angas of bhakti today in the presentation. So these are the topmost. So one has to have the namai ruchi, do the nama kirtan, and associate with the devotees, and daily shravan of Bhagavata, reading and studying, and Mathura Vas, staying in the Dham Vas, and then Shri Murti and Archa Vigraha ka Shraddha Roop se Sevan. So these are the one of the 5 important, apart from the others which we mentioned in the 64 angas of Bhakti. So the angas of bhakti which are mentioned for in this chapter 29 is executing the prescribed duties for dharma without any material profit, regularly performing one's devotional services without excessive violence, seeing, touching, worshipping, praying, and offering obeisances to the deity, seeing with detachment and with patience every living entity as spiritual, and respecting the spiritual masters and acharyas, and showing compassion to the unfortunate, being friendly to one's equals, chanting the holy names of Lord, and straightforward behavior, associating with saintly persons, and giving up false ego. So Once the devotee gets purified by these processes or angas, the mind of a devotee is attracted by hearing the Lord's holy names and his pastimes. And the devotee gets closer or elevated towards the Supreme Lord. And so by hearing the Lord's holy names and qualities, like the air when it passes through a very beautiful aroma air carries, that similarly the mind of the devotee is carried towards the lotus feet of the Lord. So the angas of bhakti are necessarily meant for purifying our mind and leading us towards the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So what are the impediments in this process of bhakti? So there are these offenses which create the restriction in our processes. And what are these offenses? When we disrespect great devotees, we blaspheme devotees, etc. So then we get these impediments. When we disregard the devotees, we show hatred or dvisatah or criticize the devotees. So when we disregard Lord, what are how should the devotee realize? How do I take care of these offenses? Like realize the presence of Lord in everyone. That is one of the solution. Respect all living entities. So one should not disrespect. Okay, so I'll go in a bit more great detail in the subsequent slide about this. And disregard. One should realize that Lord is present in every living being, and not realizing is our cause abhagya. And his worship of the deity is when such a devotee who is disregarding the other people, other Vaishnavas, then his worship is just an imitation. It is like offering oblations to the ashes. And if people show hatred, again the Lord is not very pleased, and such a devotee doesn't attain any peace. And when we criticize devotees, again Lord is not pleased. And even if we worship the Lord with all kinds of very nice paraphernalia, that is not going to help or please the Supreme Lord. So what our Shastras say in Skanda Purana? It says that Ninda kurvanti ye muda Vaishnavanam Mahatmanam पतन्ति पितृभिः सार्धं महारौरवसंज्ञते हन्ति निन्दन्ति वै द्वेष्टि वैष्णवानाभिनन्दति कुर्यते यतिहो हर्षं दर्शने पतन्ति सत् निन्दनं भागवत शृण्वंस्तत्परस्य जनस्य वा. Not able to read it, so I'm just making it small. ततो नापैति यं सोऽपि यतति यद सुकृच्युतः. So there are 6 types of behavior that result in a fall down, a killing of a Vaishnava, blaspheming him, feeling malice towards him and not greeting him upon seeing him, becoming angry with him and not feeling happiness upon seeing a Vaishnava. All these are Vaishnava aparadhas. And similarly, one who upon hearing hearing blasphemy of the Lord, or those who are dedicated their lives to the movement of propagating the names of the holy name, the Vaishnava, they should do not leave that place immediately, lose their Sukruti and fall down. So when one hears blasphemy, one should really shut his ears and move away from such a place, or blasphemy of the Lord or blasphemy of Vaishnava. In fact, he can also protest when the Lord is getting blasphemy, or even Vaishnavas are getting blasphemy, and close his ears and move away from the place. Because if he doesn't do that, he will lose his Sukruti and he will fall down as well. So a little bit more elaboration on so how do we overcome such a thing, the Vaishnava aparadha? So we have to understand who is a Vaishnava, activities of the Vaishnava, and understand what activities will cause the Vaishnava aparadha. So jivas are of 4 categories. There are ordinary jivas, religious jivas, brahmanas, and Vaishnava praya jivas. Like they are like Vaishnavas, like, and they are not Vaishnavas, but they are imitating or like the similar to Vaishnavas and Vaishnava jivas. So understanding that Krishna resides in all the beings, one has to respect every jiva. One should understand the Paramatma is there in every living entity. Especially one should honor the religious jivas. It is essential to show honor to Brahmanas, Vaishnava Praya Jiva, else we will invite sins, and which can be counteracted by penances. But one should worship the Vaishnava Jivas, and aparad to Vaishnava Jivas causes fall down to the soul of the performer of the aparad. So the one thing one should realize is to realize the presence of Lord in everyone. And then Lord, how does it give us the counteraction in the form of death? Lord gives fear who sees differences between them and others. Though charity, respect, friendly behavior, and equal wisdom will win the Lord. So equal vision does not mean that the devotee loses discrimination based on gradations in the jiva. When to be friendly and when to give charity. So the devotee should be able to discriminate as well. So different categories of jiva we will quickly see. Most of us know this. So we have the Vaishnava, Vaishnavatra, and Vaishnavatma. So the Vaishnava or the Kanishta Adhikari, we have seen both in NOI and Srimad Bhagavatam. So these are the verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Archayameva haraye pujam ya shraddaye hate na tad bhakteshu chaneshu cha sabhakta prakrita smrita. He engages in worshipping the Supreme Lord Hari in the temple, but he does not respect any devotees or he does not show respect to other devotees. And he is entering the Prakrita stage or the entering the signs of devotion. Only by sadhu sangha he can come to the next stage of Vaishnava. He should have both shastriya shraddha on the shastras and sadhu sangha for him to be called a Vaishnava. The second category is Vaishnavatra or Madhyama Adhikari. Ishware tadadineshu balisheshu द्विषत्सु च प्रेम मैत्री कृपोपेक्षा करोति स मध्यमा. This category of devotee, the Madhyama Adhikari, he loves the Supreme Lord. He is very friendly to the Vaishnavas and he is kind to those who are in the neophyte stage, who are inexperienced or who are Vaishnava Praya. He takes the position of indifference and tolerance. So he is able to differentiate. And the Madhyama Adhikari is the one who is qualified to serve the Vaishnava community as well. And again, Vaishnavatma, the Uttama Adhikari, the Uttama Vaishnava is Sarva Bhuteshu Ya Pasher Bhagavad Bhavam Atmanaha Bhutani Bhagavati Atmani Esha Bhagavatottamaha. The presence of the Lord, the Uttama Adhikari sees the presence of the Lord in every living being and that their existence rests in Bhagavan. He also realizes that every living entity ultimately has to take the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the Uttama Adhikari is able to see everyone with a equal vision. So our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the categories of these Vaishnavas through these verses. And how do we approach them and how do we behave or treat them?
Mataji, can you kindly summarize?
Yes, Prabhuji. अतएव यार मुखे एक कृष्ण नाम सेई ते वैष्णवतार कारः सम्मान. So once even a devotee even takes once Krishna Nama, one has to respect such a devotee. Krishna Nama nirantar yanhara vadane sei se Vaishnavatara bhajatahara charane. So somebody who's taking the Krishna Nama constantly, one should offer his respects to them. And Yanhara Darshane Mukhe Aise Krishna Nama Tana Rajaniya Tumi Vaishnava Pradana. Kramakari Kahe Prabhu Vaishnava Lakshana Vaishnava Vaishnavatara Ara Vaishnavatma. And the third category is the Uttama Adhikari, one who always respects, pay obeisance to such Vaishnava. And this is my last slide, Prabhuji, the gradation of jivas. So I'll quickly summarize that in 1 minute. So the different jivas are categorized in these classes from inanimate objects, living movable entities, and then entities with developed consciousness, entities with sense perception, and beings which have touch sensation, so on and so forth. And then entities with teeth, beings with many legs to animals with 4 legs, humans with 2 legs, non-varnashrama humans in varnashrama, and brahmanas who knows Vedas, Brahmana who know meaning of the Veda, and Brahmana who also follows their duties, liberated person, and then a pure devotee. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much for the crisp presentation. One small feedback: you could have reduced the content from Nectar of Devotion or other places, Chaitanya Charitamrita, etc. You could have brought out all these points from the Bhagavatam 29 chapter itself, because this is related to this topic. It is not a general presentation. So you may quote once or twice, but you should not have a elaborate discussion. So next time onwards, you can be careful. Try to focus more on the Bhagavatam section. In a
Okay,
general
Prabhuji.
presentation, when you give class, you can quote from different places. But here, this is exam for Bhagavatam. You need to restrict yourself to Bhagavatam. You may quote one or two points from other places, but not like that should be major quota like that.
Okay,
So,
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
yeah,
Thank
thank you. Okay, now to end with, request all the devotees to stay for a few more minutes. So the last presentation, like Madhurena Samapayat, the beauty of Lord, the Supreme Lord, by Gauranga Purushottam Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji.
Please. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees. So I just, because everybody is hungry, so I just to complete. But the hungry of Lord beauty is, it will be most probably releasing the hunger of the material beauty. So just we're going to start the beauty of the Supreme Lord. So you see this evolution of senses we have studied in this canto. He does ether sound from here, then everything there. Then in of this all these five senses, the most distracting senses we consider is the eye, and which only function is there to see the form. And for those who have eye, this is the you can say they're the most distracting, and that will they cause the sometimes a lot of problem. So it's going to see. So this we can start from this how this your eye are this seeing the beauty of the material world. So you see this the material world is full of beauty, and the beauty is so much we can say this is astonishing, and some it can distracting, or you can say it will be mesmerizing effect on the human being. They can see the beauty and then mesmerize, and oh, wow, that type of saying they have come in their mind ki, this is amazing. So you can see the beauty. Another beauty is our Mayapur beauty. This is wonderful beauty, and everybody can release. So next slide, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So this after effect of if you see the glamour of this material world, so what will happen? This first thing is that it will mind become captivated. Just like you see in the photograph, there is a pastime when the this Ramanuja sir was going through this their procession of this deity was going through this road. That time uh, this man Indra, I just forget his name. So this person was seeing the beauty of the woman, so he became very much captivated, and later this we can see this our this Ramanujacharya saw the beauty of the Lord Vishnu, and then he become very good devotee. So you see the once the mind become captivated by the beauty, then second part happened ki that person become degraded, just like an Azamil. The Azamil see the beauty of, or we can say the lust of this Sudra in the forest and become degraded. And that third part you can when the person by seeing this material beauty, sometimes it become lose the reputation. And just I see in this Supernekha story, he actually he was the attracted to the beauty of Krishna, Lord Ram, but she want to enjoy Lord Ram and without the Sita, means you have to just want to kill the Sita. So that time Lord Lakshmana has killed this, he cut his nose, and so it happens his her reputation was gone and the prestige also gone. And if person is become glamorized by the material beauty, and sometimes happen ki because his whole life is glamorized by the beauty of the world, so at the time of death he can remember that glamour also, and that is why it leads to the rebirth of the same form. Just like our in this fourth photograph you will see this our Bharat Maharaj, we are seeing the beauty, means he become so much attached with this deer then he become dear in next life. So this is the after effect of the glamour of material beauty. So we have to avoid this glamour of the material beauty, and how to uh, come out from the glamour of material beauty. That we have to see the beauty of the Supreme Lord of Sri Krishna. So next part. So we see this in this in the Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, a lot of times there are difference. There is definition ki what is the six beauty definition of Bhagwan, where one of the is description is the those who has a full beauty which is full. This is Esvarisa, Samagrasa, Virasa, Yasya, Shashriya. So their beauty is a full. There is no one comparable to the beauty. So this is the beauty of Lord Krishna. Ki there is no one comparable to his beauty. So next slide. So, and in this, we have studied the NOD also. There is one of the 64 quality. There, this quality mentioned as the beauty of without Krishna. It is without rival. We can processor of unexcelled beauty without rival. Where Srimad Bhagavatam purport also third canto, Prabhupada is mentioning, there was nothing comparable to the bodily feature of Lord Krishna when he was present in the world. The most beautiful object in this material world may be compared to the blue lotus flower or the full moon in the sky, but even the lotus flower and the moon were defeated by the beauty of the bodily feature of Lord Krishna, and this was certified by the demigod. So that was the beauty has been described by in this canto by this demigod in the third canto, second chapter of Bhagavatam. So and then a question is then how to where to know this where this different our devotees or different Bhagavatam whatever the different type of devotee where glorify the Lord's beauty. So we're going to see this. First is the external bodily feature where we can see how the devotee is describing the Lord Krishna body and what are the effect happens when they're describing the body. Or and second part is the energy. So I'm not going to cover that, but this is how this Lord's energy is more is also beautiful, because this is Lord's part, because say that energetic are not different. So even Krishna energy are very beautiful. So when you see this external potency, this is called Maya Shakti or Prakriti. So we have seen this first slide. There are so much beauty in this material world, but this material world is also Lord Krishna's Shakti. So it, of course, it will be very beautiful, and people by seeing they become mesmerized. A second part is the marginal potency, which is Jiva Shakti. So in by the Lord has given the Guru and Sadhu through this Jiva Shakti, and they are the beauty of the Lord Krishna, because through them we are getting to learn the spiritual knowledge, and we are getting out of the material world by this Lord's marginal potency. And third is the internal potency. So we are going to describe this bodily feature, where this Mother Kunti also pray in the first canto, because we're going to start from the Mother Kunti, where you see the Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, Nama Pankajane Maline, Nama Pankaj Netraya, Namaste Pankaj. So there Mother Kunti also describing the beauty of the Lord Krishna, by how Lord Krishna is so beautiful. Their lotus feet are beautiful, their lotus garland are beautiful, their lotus navel are beautiful, lotus mouth are beautiful. So this is the they are such a beautiful, Krishna is such a beautiful, that even this mother aunt is describing his beauty. So we can show another different prayers by this Lord Brahma. This is a very famous prayer, so I just added in this. Benum kontam arvinda dalayat akcham barhavatasam asita ambuja sundarangam kandarbha koti kamaniya vishesha govindam adim purusham tamabhajam. Here Brahmaji also praying ki Krishna's beauty excel the kandarbha, means millions of kandarbha. They are, if you combine, then even the Lord Krishna beauty will excel this. So these are the prayers by the Lord Brahma, and the description of Lord Brahma, how the Krishna is so much beautiful. And in third canto also, then this is described ki when the gopis have exchanged this Ras Leela, and after that when the gopis went to their home, they are become so much mesmerized by that effect of this Krishna pastime for overnight. even they forget the household activity, and whenever they are with their friends, they enacted that type of pastime. So in this photograph you can see the Lord Krishna, this gopiya embracing each other, they are dancing with each other, and they are in the mood of that rasa dance also. So here this it describe the even this by seeing the Krishna's beauty, worldly feature, the gopi become perplexed by seeing his Krishna's beauty. Next, Prabhuji. And we have heard studied in this first canto, first canto also how this Sukadeva Goswami returned to the path of bhakti by describing the beauty of this Lord Krishna by this disciple of the Vyasadev. Sukadeva Goswami was so much mesmerized, or he returned from this path of jnana to the path of bhakti by the description of the teacher, where it is very nice sloka. See, Varha Pidam Natavara Bapu Karna Karnikaram Vibrat Visa Kanak Kapisam. Sorry, actually it is very short point. Vajanti Chamalam Randaram Venum Adaram Sudhayo Apuriam Gopa Vrindaye Vrinda Narniyam Swapad Ramanam Goparvit. There here it is saying this how the Krishna beauty, where Krishna is wearing the peacock feather, his body is effulgent like yellow effulgent garland. This his cloth is yellow and effulgent. He is wearing the forest garland. So likewise, they are describing the beauty, and by hearing that beauty, the Sukadeva Goswami become attracted to the path of the bhakti. Seconds. And even we are just hearing this how this king of Chedi, this Shishupal, become perplexed. We have heard this in past time when the Shishupal was blaspheming the Krishna. Actually, Krishna, he was so much attached to the Krishna, because that time he has when he was blaspheming the Krishna, and simultaneously he is observing a beauty of the Krishna. So his beauty was so much mesmerizing. This even the Shishupal forget the counting, and due to that counting, he has crossed the 99, and then he was means he was killed. This Krishna has killed finally. So these are the one of the quality where he had described how this Krishna is Krishna beauty is so much mesmerizing. Even these demons become perplexed by seeing the beauty, and he forget the counting. Next, Prabhuji. Again, in the assembly of the Yudhishthira Maharaj, this in Rajasuya, there are a lot of this demigods are present. The demigods, when they seeing the beauty of the Krishna, they also finally they have what they have concluded that they have concluded that Vidhatur Arvak Sritu Koslam iti amanyate. They are telling the Vidhata, means this Lord Brahma is a ultimate dexterous creation of Brahma. They are telling this Krishna has the ultimate creation of Lord Brahma. So they are, by seeing their beauty, they are also mesmerizing. They see the beauty. And even this second chapter also, it described that when the Lord Krishna and Arjuna was in the battlefield of Mahabharata, even the warrior opposite warrior, when they come to in front of the Lord Krishna chariot, when they see the beauty of the Lord Krishna, actually their senses become they lose their senses, means they have lost the control of their senses, and they start seeing the beauty of the Lord Krishna, and they are holding their weapons in the hand, but they are not able to shoot the arrow or shoot any weapons. And that time, by the arrow of the Arjuna, they have killed this army. And finally, this opposite army, they have attained can say the higher planet, or even they get mukti also. So these are the beauty of the Lord Krishna. And again, this Kardama Muni, what they had described in the 29th chapter, how the beauty of the Lord Krishna. So in that they have glorifying the beauty. Their body is emitting such a effulgence. They are wearing this garland, and they have Kaustubha jewels in their neck. So these are the beauty they saw in this their meditation, and they are describing the beauty of the Lord Krishna. So in Kardama Muni, and again in the next sloka, they are also describing this in 21 chapter. They have Kiritinam Kundalinam Sankha Chakra Gadabharam Sweta Utpala Kridanakam Mana Sparsa Smita Akshanam. So he is also describing the beauty. They holding the Sankh Chakra Gada Padma in the forehand. They have beautiful crown jewels. They are earrings, and they have very beautiful smile that they are captivating the heart of the whole devotee. So he is also describing the beauty, how the Lord is so beautiful. And finally, Kardama Muni, they are describing the beauty of the Lord Krishna when they are sitting on the Garuna. So here also describing the Lord Krishna was sitting on the back of the Garuna, and they have golden stick on their chest was visible, and is sitting on the back of the Garuna holding this means all the weapons, and they are actually they are so their beautiful thigh was visible. That is the one of the best darshan of the Lord thigh. So these are the glorification, even this the Kaduma Mumi giving to Lord Krishna, because he was seeing in the meditation. And another beauty of the Lord Krishna is described in the form of Mohini Sharupa, where this when they're seeing this Rakshasa and the demigods, they are describing the Upalabhyasya Ashur Dharma Sharva Shamohya Striyam, because this Mother Mohini was, yes, she has displayed her such a charming beauty, because even this all the demigods and demons become captivated, and it had described that the Asura, they are so much captivated, they are infatuated with the opposite, with an appetite for the sex, and then that way they are much bewildering for this all the Asura. And by the way, Mohini Sarup, Mohini has cheated these demigods, the demons, and they have pleased the demigods. So that is the beauty of the Lord Krishna. And in the third canto also describe this beauty of the Lord Krishna in the form of Karuna Shakti, or this Lord Krishna. Here this is described when this Putana has come to her the motive to kill the Krishna, but Krishna has not only killed her, all this means whatever the fault in their heart, and after killing that, Lord Krishna give the place in the this spiritual world as a Dhatri, means maid servant. So here it is described the Lord Krishna Karuna Shakti, ki how is the Dayalu. That is why he was this Uddhavji telling ki Kamva Dayalu Saranam Raja, who is the most we can say this merciful person to whom we can worship. So that means he the must worship this merciful person. So we have to worship them. Again, this Lord Krishna, this beautiful Karuna Shakti is described when in this assembly of this Ugrasena. The Lord Krishna always sit aside this Ugrasena, and every time Lord Krishna say to Ugrasena, "Oh my Lord, please let it be known to you." Means he are always telling ki, means just like a humble servant or humble minister, when he speak to the one king, so he always talk like that. Even Lord Krishna is the king of the whole world, but still he was showing his merciful, or we can say the humbleness toward the King Ugrasena. That is the one of the beauty, this can say internal beauty of the Lord Krishna, that is displayed by this Karuna Shakti. Next. So question is how to release this Krishna beauty. So generally when the second canto we studied how to release the beauty, and that you want to release the beauty, then you have to do the meditation, and meditation will start from the Lord's lotus feet, and slowly by meditating on the lotus feet, our mind will be get purified. Then we proceed from lotus feet to calf, then thigh, then navel, then chest, then mouth, and likewise you have to meditate on the Lord's beautiful form. And then how they are meditating, I will not going to cover because one devotee already covered this. So this is the way we can release the beauty of Lord Krishna. So here if we describe the, we have to release the beauty by through this meditation on the lotus feet to lotus mouth. So here you see the beautiful form of the Lord Krishna, where if you see this form of beauty, then really it is most mesmerizing than any other thing. So now next question is, if you are seeing the beauty of the Lord Krishna, what is the effect of the seeing the beauty of Krishna? So in the purport of the third canto 8th chapter, Prabhupada written, the one who is therefore attracted by the beauty of the Lord is no longer attracted by the beauty of material nature. And he is quoted this verse, the Visya Binivartante Niraharasya Dehinam Rasya Varjam Rasopasya Param Drishta Nivartate. So those who have higher taste, they have to lose the lower taste. So if you have a taste of the beauty of the Lord Krishna, then we gradually you can leave the aside the taste beauty of the material world. So it is one who is attracted by the Param, the Supreme, is no longer attracted by anything inferior. So, and again in the next slide, it
Hare
is
Krishna,
also,
Hare Krishna.
yes,
I
Prabhuji.
think this is a good point to stop. There is no end to this, but we'll stop. We have to
Yeah.
stop here for today. Sometime.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much to all the devotees for who tirelessly made your presentations and also prepared and presented very nicely. So very nice. So thank you very much. So today we'll stop here, and
Yes, Prabhuji.
yeah, almost all the devotees are presented except Achyutanmaya Prabhu, and humble request to